The thing about music is that, as cheesy as it sounds, it's something that everyone can relate to, no matter who you are, where you come from. And because of that, music is able to reach a lot of people. And I'm not saying that musicians and the people in the music industry have a responsibility to send a good message, but they definitely have a better ability to do that than, say, the normal person like you and I. The organization is basically a group of 5 Ryerson students from the Radio and Television Arts program. The mission of Impressionable Youth Media is to basically collaborate with music fans, music industry, and musicians to inspire some positive change in the community. The idea behind Sound Affects was actually inspired from a War Child compilation album called Heroes. And they did this compilation and it raised money for relief programs and aid programs for children in communities in war-affected areas around the world. And I thought that was a really cool idea. Sound Affects features a bunch of different Canadian artists from all across the country. So all of the proceeds from the album and the CD release show are going to be donated to the organization to help with their programs around the world. In addition to that, in like the monetary way, it's also helping, I hope, to spread the word about War Child.
The way wars are being fought has changed drastically since, the First and Second World War. And we're now seeing more and more conflicts that, directly have the sole purpose of going out to really attack and perpetrate violence against civilians and against kids. So for us, we're simply trying to work with communities to ensure that kids aren't affected and that they, are given the opportunities to rebuild if they come from communities or, countries affected by war, but also to start that dialogue of, what does a more hopeful future look like and how can they be a part of that process.
We reached out to a lot of the musicians that we know that have a name in Canada, and we asked them if they'd be interested in being part of this student project. Yeah, the artists were all really just enthusiastic to be a part of something that was more than the music. Obviously, their goals as musicians to, make it this big or make this amount of money, but for all the artists that were involved, that was never the main objective for them.
Music isn't where it was 45 years ago. We had bed-ins and there was a bunch of concerts in protest for something, but lately we've seen a lot more of a resurgence in doing music for a cause. Hey everybody, we are All Right. Tonight we're going to be performing our cover of Paul Anka's Put Your Head on My Shoulder for War Child Sound Effects CD.
Put your head on my shoulder, hold your arms good, squeeze me out so tight, show that you love me.
I think this project and how far it's gone speaks volumes to not just the music community in Toronto, but also the student community. This was started by Ryerson students, and I think with all the marketing and stuff that's going on for the show and for the CD, at the core of it, it's students, it's people, it's young people, and I think it's not so much about the Toronto music scene, it's just about the people of Toronto.
It takes a lot of initiatives like this for people to realize that there are small changes happening, and people, really are committed to using their own talent and whatever, they care and are most passionate about, and turning that into something that is for the global good.
I find that a lot of the time when people use the phrase impressionable youth, they're talking about, oh, impressionable youth, violence and video games and things like that, and it gives a really negative connotation to the phrase. But with the impressionable youth that I know, the actual people that I know and that I work with, they're actually really great people. Youth are some of the most active people in charity organizations and volunteering and things like that. So the name Impressionable Youth Media just is a way of me trying to reverse that connotation.